Have it.
Non-stop.
It's Buffalo Against the World show.
Lot of hits.
Welcome, everybody, to the Buffalo Against the World show.
Hit after hit after hit.
And I'm here,
It's
built-in Buffalo
Against the
Network
World
platform
show.
with my main man and my brother. It's been 10 years since we've been on the show, bro. Together, my man Don Juan. What's going on, Juan?
What it is. It's your boy Don Juan. You know I'm here, baby. We representing the town, Buffalo, New York, man. I'm excited about our first show, my brother. How you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling really good, man. Shout out to the built-in Buffalo platform, man, for giving us this opportunity. We are live. Make sure y'all hit that tap in, give us a call. Yeah, we the only podcast in the world right now that you can call us and be on our hotline. Right now, give us a call, 563-993045, and give us your post-game reactions, man. We got a lot of things to talk about. Before we get started, man, yo, Juan, tell us what's going on around the league and tell us some breaking news going on.
Yes, sir. So we got Buffalo Bills versus the Las Vegas Raiders yesterday. It was a dominant performance. Josh Allen definitely had a bounce-back game. He was 31 for 37 for 274 yards, 3 touchdowns, no turnovers this week. Had a 79 QBR and a rating of 124. James Cook with his best day as a Buffalo Bill for 17 carries for 123 yards. Damian Harris also contributed with 7 carries for 33 yards and a touchdown, as well as Latavius Murray, 6 carries, 22 yards, and a touchdown. As a team, we had a total of 185 yards. That's something we've been trying to look for a few years now. It's starting to come to fruition. Gabe Davis, 6 receptions and 92 yards and a touchdown. And as well as Stephon Diggs, our number 1 wide receiver, 7 catches, 66 yards. Khalil Shakir contributed. He had 1 catch, but it counted. It was for a touchdown. Dawson Knox, 3 receptions for 10 yards and a touchdown. So we also had a dominant defensive day, bro. Dominant, absolute dominance. We held last year's leading rusher to 9 carries for -2 yards. Jimmy Garoppolo, 185 yards and a touchdown with 2 interceptions. One by our second-year player, Bernard. Wonderful play. We had a tip by AJ Epinesa, and then Terrell Bernard with an interception. And then my boy, that Italian stallion. Woo! Listen, my man absolutely mossed Josh Jacobs for that interception. Straight grabbed the rebound on the top of his head. My man is going to be an All-Pro again this season. Dominant performance by the Buffalo Bills. Bounce back game. The score 38-10. Okay, and then we're going to go around the league. We got the Ravens defeating the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow looks like he injured that calf again this week. 27-24. Chiefs survive in Arrowhead against the Jaguars, 17-9. We got the Jets get blown out by the Cowboys, 30-10. Yeah, Zach Wilson didn't look good. That boy Micah Parsons, he's a problem. The Commanders take down the Broncos 35-33 on a relatively controversial no call. Russell Wilson aired it out 60 yards. They get a couple bounces and a touchdown and a Hail Mary play. The very next play for 2-point conversion, the guy, from my opinion and my vantage point, absolutely robbed him of a extra point. No call. Commanders win. Dolphins, Sunday Night Football, take down the New England Patriots 24-17. And as an injury report, we come out relatively okay. We got Micah Hyde left the game with a hamstring, as well as Leonard Floyd with an ankle injury. But Sean McDermott reported that they're both day-to-day. So we'll see what happens this coming Sunday against the Commanders.
Yeah, man. We want to also tell everybody to make sure you like, share, subscribe on Facebook, on YouTube, and also on Twitter to the Built-in Buffalo Network, so you can make sure you check us out every Monday live right here. And we're taking your calls at 563-999-3045 for your post-game reaction. And we're going to get right into our main topic of discussion, man. Josh Allen and the Bills bounce back.
In a
We're
big
going to talk
way.
about a lot of the game today, man. But first, man, I got to start giving my game ball first, bro. I got to give it to Josh Allen, man. You know, it was a lot of talk about Josh. Can he really come through and play this game without just thinking about his ego first and thinking about the big arm first? Can he really come out and play a little bit more conservative, taking what the defense gives him? And that's what we saw he did yesterday. He took those intermediate passes that we talked about last week. Ken Dorsey called a great game yesterday. Great game. Great. Cook had what, 17 carries yesterday? Very
Yep.
balanced attack. You sprinkle some Latavius Murray in there with some power. You sprinkle Damian Harris in there with some power. Man, I think what James Cook went for a buck 27 or something, 17 carries.
17 carries, 123 yards. He averaged 7 yards a carry.
Carry, yes. So
7 yards a carry.
yeah, man, James Cook, dominant performance. And as you mentioned earlier, bro, the defense really stepped it up. Besides the one catch that, Adams had. Adams is
Yeah,
a great receiver, one of the best in the league.
absolutely.
You're not gonna stop a guy like that. But we contained
Yeah.
him. We
Yeah.
contained him. He only had 84 yards, I think like 6 receptions. So that's a pretty good game for our defense on that end. Then on the back end, we had with the 2 takeaways, the 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
And then we didn't get any sacks, by the way, for all our listeners out there. We didn't get any sacks, but we got a lot of quarterback pressure. We made Garoppolo look real uncomfortable, bro. Man, what's your thoughts, bro?
Yeah, absolutely. Josh Allen had one of the best games that I've seen him play in a long time. He was very decisive with the game. He was very methodical. And like you said, Ken Dorsey called a great game. I also thought that in that Jets game, he also called a great game, but we got a different Josh Allen that day. So I think with the criticism that's taken place over the last week, Josh Allen definitely stepped up, did what he had to do in order to get that W. And I just want to give him some grace because a lot of individuals, including myself, was very critical for the game that he had on Monday. And, you had individuals such as Dan Orlovsky saying that he needed to grow up, which I agreed with. But we're going to talk about it a little later about that poem from that Mrs. Jillian Hainsworth. When I watched that video, I really got a full synopsis of what this city is going through, right? You get a full dynamic of what the city of Buffalo is going through. And to have the city of Buffalo be so passionate about the Buffalo Bills, it's no wonder that Josh may at times feel like I need to do more because he may feel the pressure of the entire city on his shoulders. So I want to give him some grace today and say, my man, you're doing an excellent job. You're doing great things for this city. We rooting for you. We want you to succeed, and we need that Super Bowl. And I understand that, the world is on his shoulders right now. But at the same time, you do have to do your job, my brother. But we rooting for you. We rooting for you, baby.
Yeah, man. And shout out to Jillian Hainsworth. We're definitely trying to get her right here on the Buffalo Against the World show. We got a caller calling in the line right now. Caller, please let us know your name. And also, please keep it PG because we do not allow any profanity on this podcast. Caller from 716-697. You are on Buffalo Against the World. What's going on?
What's up, Kulu? It's your boy Lee. How you doing?
My brother Lee, what's going on, my man? Talk to me about this game, bro. What is your thoughts, man?
Oh, I'm not really surprised, but in all fairness, I'm in a disagreement with you. I don't want to say I'm in disagreement with you. I don't think Josh Allen deserves the game ball. I do believe that Sean McDermott deserves a game ball because you're really starting to see what type of defense he runs. He looks like the guy that actually called defenses in Carolina. when you look at Leslie Frazier's defense, it's more of a bend you don't break. McDermott's very aggressive, and Trent Green said it on the broadcast that it's not like the Bills played bad defense against the Jets last week. It's just that McDermott's very aggressive, and then Breece Hall just popped it out to the left and the right, and it just slowed down. And we got a couple old safeties, obviously. Middle safeties in Poyer and Hyde that, when you have a young guy breaking things like that. But I think McDermott deserves a ball as well, because he's really showing what type of blitz packages he's really doing and what type of aggressiveness he has. And I think Ed Oliver played a fantastic game.
Yes,
he was just down the middle every single snap.
Yeah, man. Thank you, Lee, man. We appreciate that, bro.
Thanks for the call, Lee.
I think that's my man Lee, my brother from another mother. Shout out to Lee, man. Been my brother.
Lee. Thanks for calling, my brother.
We be going back and forth, man. He'd be like, "Yo, Kulu, you a negative Bills fan, man." No, but listen, when you talk about Buffalo against the world, man, the reality is both me and Juan, we both love this team. And when this team doesn't play well, we hard on our team.
Absolutely.
But it doesn't mean we don't love our team. You know what I'm saying? The scriptures tells us what? It tells us that God disciplines those he loves. So when we talk hard on our team, it's because we love them. We love
it's
them.
out of love. And that's exactly right. And I liked a lot of the points Lee brought up, especially about Sean McDermott. Sean McDermott definitely showed up and showed out for this game. I thought he called just as good of a game as Ken Dorsey did. He had these guys flying around. And listen, Terrell Bernard, I understand why he's starting now. This kid is decisive. He's fast. He's not very big, but he plays big. I remember he stuffed the hole against Josh Jacobs. I mean, he was part of the reason why this kid had only -2 yards in the game. He was very decisive. He had that interception. He was great in coverage. Jimmy Garoppolo really couldn't do anything against this defense. And I think our defense is definitely going to be top tier this season. And Sean McDermott is definitely doing his job.
Yeah. Shout out to Sean McDermott. McDermott took a lot of hits this past week. And the question came into, is McDermott calling Josh Allen out? And we you talked about it on the radio show the other day, how he was saying, come on, that's not smart. When he took that hit, he said that's not smart. So yes, he is talking to Josh Allen about the things he's doing. And sometimes Josh Allen just does what Josh Allen wants to do. Sometimes he could just, I want to show how I want to end this game, and like you said, it could be a little boring, right? It could be a little boring to dink and dunk a little bit. So that could have been
okay. Right, but that's okay, because that's what a W is going to get you. That type of game, you're going to get a W. You don't need to stretch the field every time to show off your beautiful arm. You don't have to. And this game, to me, was evidence that Josh Allen is elite. Evidence. Because there are plays that Josh Allen can make that most other quarterbacks can't make. There was a play, it was on 4th down. And that's another thing I really appreciate about McDermott, is that he's not afraid to go for it on 4th down. Josh Allen is scrambling to his right, and the play's breaking down. He sees Gabe Davis. He throws across his body. Boom, touchdown. And we go up 2 scores.
Exactly.
That lets me know that Josh Allen can methodically run the offense and then give us the Superman plays as well. We don't always need Superman, Josh, but we always need efficient Josh. We always need that.
Exactly.
And then when the plays break down, then put your cape on, bro.
Yep, exactly. Shout out to my man King. Shout out to my man Akeem, man. McKean gave us this opportunity, man. One of the founders of Built in Buffalo, man. Man, definitely, man. Shout out to you. And we definitely wanted to bring these call segment to the forefront, because at the end of the day, there's not a lot of podcasts that have that. We wanted to bring something brand new to the platform. We wanted to make sure you guys can call in. So make sure y'all do give us a call. at 563-999-3045. Yeah, Juan, like as you were saying, McDermott, he's really stepping it up, but we got to give Ken Dorsey some love too, because
Absolutely.
he's been taking a lot of hits too with play calling. I mean, coming behind Brian Dable, like that's tough, bro. Like that's not easy. Dable was a great offensive coordinator, and he had to live up to that.
Mhm.
So I think this year, though, I'm seeing something different. Every run play is not a shotgun draw. You remember how that was last year? Almost the past 2 years, it's been like that.
Yeah,
Now we're seeing Josh under center.
understand.
Now we're seeing, Josh handing the ball off instead of just, drawing it. We're
Yeah.
seeing that a lot more. So I'm seeing some versatility in his play style. What do you think, bro?
Yeah, the great offensive coordinators have identities, right? We know that with Brian Dable, it was 3 wide receiver, 1 tight end set, shotgun, and you got Singletary or Moss was in the backfield. So that was his identity. 3 wide receiver sets, push the ball down the field, try to run off of RPOs. That was mainly his offense. So last year, Dorsey implemented a lot of that into last season's offense. But I think Ken Dorsey this year is putting a stamp on the way he wants to play offense in the NFL. 12 personnel, showing 2 elite tight ends, but we don't necessarily have elite ones. Dawson Knox is very serviceable, but we hope Kincaid can turn into that. Kincaid had a really good game. He was sitting down in zones and catching the ball, getting yak yards. And that's another thing about this offense as well, is that we're seeing the yak yards come. Stephon Diggs had a catch up the sidelines, and then he turned upfield for about 10 yards. We've seen Kincaid do it. We've seen a few, even Gabe Davis, when Josh Allen rolled out to his right, you see in the film study, you see Kincaid turn upfield, you see Davis turn upfield, and he hit him for a 40-yard pass. So we see Ken Dorsey is starting to identify and put his stamp on what he wants this offense to be, and it's working. But again, Josh has to make sure that he, like you said, takes what the defense gives him, because if he doesn't, then we're going to have long evenings, long days. It's okay. You can do it, and you see what the results are.
Yeah, man. It's definitely the results is definitely what we wanted to see. Yeah, man. Make sure y'all give us a call at 563-999-3045. We about to go into our hater segment.
If there's any haters in here right now that don't have nobody to hate on, feel free to hate on me.
Keep the hate coming. Keep the hate coming. Buffalo Against the World show.
Yeah, so for the first hater we got this week is none other than Chris Sims. You know what I find funny about this guy is when Josh Allen had that first 13-3 season, MVP type season, we ended up making it to the AFC Championship game. Chris Sims was a fanboy. He loved Josh Allen. He came to Orchard Park. He was in the training facility talking to Josh on the field, throwing footballs with him, telling him how much he loved him. But then when things die down, when things become lackluster, here's what he has to say.
Diggs said it himself. Maybe he was trying to speak it into existence. He said it during training camp.
Well, so, I mean, that worries me. The Raiders are really well coached on both sides of the ball. They are. And we know they got a little bit of a pass rush. Their D-line, I think, is a little more talented than maybe I even gave it credit for there, right? Mike, I'm going to Crazyville here. I'm going with the upset. I'm going to go with going with the Raiders going to pull this off on the road. Wow. Okay? And I'm going to go 24-20, just like I did the score before this. I'm going Raiders this time. Lazy.
Okay, so how did that turn out, Mr. Sims? Not how you expected, right? Because I find it funny, that we show up on Monday Night Football. Why are the Jets on Monday Night Football? Aaron Rodgers and Josh Allen. And the Buffalo Bills, we have seven nationally televised games this season.
Facts.
We only have 5 1:00 games this year. That's it. Out of 17 games, 5 are not in the national window. Why are we on Monday Night Football? Because of the Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen, and that defense. Granted, Jets have a great defense, but it's because of Aaron Rodgers. When was the last time the Jets were on national TV? Don't worry, I'll wait. It's been a minute. So we have one little stinker, I understand, but it's really came down to one player. Now all of a sudden, the Las Vegas Raiders have a better defensive line. They're well coached. They're blah, blah, blah. How did that turn out? Dominance on both ends of the field. Stop playing with me. That's the hater for the week.
Yeah, definitely, man. And my hater of the week is definitely Nick Wright, who said last week that Josh Allen is incapable of taking what the defense gives him. So what are your thoughts now, Nick? Yeah, like we said, we'll wait. Nick Wright he's been a Josh Allen hater since
day one.
Josh Allen came out, bro. So that is my hater, and I hope you guys watch the game to see how he picked the Raiders defense apart. Yeah, that's my dog. That's my dog.
That's my dog.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah, you know, Nick Wright, bro, he's been down on the Bills for a while. He says a lot of things. And you know what? I don't want to give him too much love because at the end of the day, we say your name on here. That's ain't no such thing as bad publicity. So we're gonna keep Nick Wright to a minimum on this show because at the end of the day, we stand firm. We stand strong.
Yeah, man.
Mafia, baby. Don't worry about
it.
Man.
And you know, right now, look, this division is looking very tough right now. It's looking like we got some competition. Even that Patriots and Dolphins game yesterday was a really good game.
Yeah.
2 strong defenses, 2 strong running backs, running games. We know that what the Dolphins have a high-powered offense. They'll be coming into Buffalo in 2 weeks. You know, so we're gonna have some challenges in this AFC East, but I still think we're the best team, bro. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, absolutely. Tua Tagovailoa with Tyreek Hill and Waddle, scary, man. There's no way around it. These boys are scary, and we've seen them come into Buffalo and put up some points. Even with that backup in the playoffs, they put up some points. So I'm interested in seeing what Sean McDermott has in store for the Miami Dolphins. We noticed that Kaiir Elam has been inactive for 2 straight games, but to me, that kid is the fastest player on that defense. He's the biggest corner on our defense, and he's probably the better, outside of Trey White, one of the best man coverage players. So I anticipate we'll see some Kaiir Elam in that Miami Dolphins game, but the Jets are done.
Yeah. You know what? They are what we thought they were.
It's any game. They are what we thought they were. When I was at that game, bro, when Aaron Rodgers went down, the entire stadium died. The guy next to me was sitting next to me. He had his face in his lap. And I said, bro, are you all right? He's like, man, I'm praying. And I got to tell you, it worked because they end up winning. But guess what? That'll probably be one of their only wins this season. As we saw the Cowboys put it on them. Mm-hmm. And Dak Prescott did what Josh Allen should have. Took what the defense gave him, and he put up 30 points. When you watch the film in that Jets game, we could have very easily put up the same amount of points because, like I said, Ken Dorsey called just as good of a game. But, you know, individuals decided to just do something else that day. But also the New England Patriots, I'm not worried about them in the slightest. They gave Philly a run for their money. They gave Miami a run for their money. But Miami doesn't have the Bills defense, and the Jets don't have the Bills offense. So we are collectively great, and I see us running over New England like 30-something to 20-something, easy.
For all you New England fans in Buffalo, I hope y'all heard that very clearly. We are not worried about y'all one bit.
Not at all.
My man too. You know I'm talking to, bro. But yeah, I think definitely, I think Miami is going to be the one we're going to be battling in this AFC East the most. I think they have a very high-powered offense. They can score with us. So it's going to come down to, I think our defense is way better than their defense. So that being said, it's going to come down to who gets the stops. Who gets the stop? Shout out to my man Lance, the president of Built in Buffalo.
What up, Lance? What up, Lance?
Yeah, man. Been with me step by step on this, man. We was at the tailgate last night, had a ball. Yesterday morning, we had a ball. Shout out to Game Day Hospitality for having us. And every home game, Built in Buffalo will be at the Game Day Hospitality. So shout out to Game Day Hospitality, Juan. You got to come through there with us, man.
Yeah, absolutely. We are also live on the Built in Buffalo YouTube channel. So check us out if you want to see these pretty faces. Check us out live on Built in Buffalo YouTube channel. Come on, do it again. Do it again.
Yeah, man.
Dark skin brothers. We got all the flavors in here. You feel what I'm saying? I'm married though, so I mean we gonna keep that.
Same here. Y'all see it.
Yeah. But shout out to Lance. We appreciate the opportunity, man. I'm so excited. This is our first live show, and we look to keep it going and keep it flowing. And it's Buffalo against the world, and we already know what that means, people. You already know what it means. We are a resilient city. We hold each other down. We got a lot of love for one another. And, all the things that we've been through as a community, this is something that we can help to uplift the community. We know we love our Buffalo Bills, and we got a new stadium coming. So it's going to be live in a couple years. Hopefully I can afford a ticket to get in that building. You know what I'm saying? Or else I'll be in the parking lot with everybody else. You know what I mean?
Well, we know Built in Buffalo, we're gonna be in the luxuries, man. We're gonna be in the luxuries.
Yeah. Hopefully by then we're gonna be straight. You know what I mean? Hopefully by then we'll be straight.
Yeah, shout out to Reezy too, man. Chaotic was in the building at the tailgate, man. We had a great time. Shout out to DJ Lil Gabby, who was in the building. We had an excellent time. It was fun, man. So Juan, we about to go into this film segment.
Yes, sir.
Tell us, man. Give us some insight. We couldn't add any film onto this page right now, but Juan is going to walk us through some of the film that he saw out there at that game that were keys to this game. Go ahead, Juan.
Yeah, absolutely. So we got the Buffalo Bills versus the Las Vegas Raiders. And in this film study, like we said earlier, it was a dominant performance on both ends of the field. And what I saw on that offensive line, I was very impressed. Spencer Brown had a comeback game against a guy who has dominated in this NFL, in this league. Max Crosby, he only had one QB pressure, and guess what happened on that one QB pressure he had? Josh Allen throws a touchdown pass to Khalil Shakir. So Spencer Brown held it down, and he accredited, believe it or not, scout team to the success that he had for this week with Jonathan. I forgive me, I forgot his full name, but I believe it is a practice squad player who was relentless in practice and gave Spencer Brown everything he needed to be prepared for this game. So I definitely give
Kingsley Jonathan.
Kingsley Jonathan, yes, sir. Kingsley Jonathan. Yes, he was according to the reports, he was a menace in practice and gave everything Spencer Brown needed to be successful in this game, and it showed. It really showed. He really accredited him, saying that it was the best scout team practice that he've ever had in a week with this gentleman. So we hope that Mr. Kingsley will find his way to the field, because I know even in the preseason we've seen him do some good things. And also, Osiris Torrance had also a great game. He had a few individuals that got some pressure on him, but again, he's a rookie and he is really doing his thing. That offensive line dominated. Again, we were able to rush for 185 yards in this game. And Josh, believe it or not, 7 yards. We're really starting to see what Ken Dorsey and Sean McDermott really want for Josh Allen. We have Latavius Murray, who was rushing for very tough yards. We had Damian Harris rushing for very tough yards, goal line yards. I remember there was a play when Latavius Murray scored, and he ran full speed at that line of scrimmage at the end zone, and he popped the guy and got himself in that end zone. So we got some real tough running going on. That 12 personnel is working. It's working. It's doing its thing. And also, Stephon Diggs, man, when you see the tape, no one can guard this guy. I mean, he got guys in washing machines week in and week out. He had a decent game. You know, he'd end up in the end zone. But again, the game that Ken Dorsey called, because everybody's playing this too high shell against Herbert, against Mahomes, against Burrow, against Josh. They're playing this too high shell. So everything down the field is basically being taken away from the Buffalo Bills. So in order for us to be successful, he has to take those 5, 7, 8, 10-yard plays. And then when it opens up, you take that shot. And we saw that. There was a wheel route that Stephon Diggs ran in the end zone that he ended up drawing a PTI for, and we ended up on goal line. So we see that if the shots are there, we can take them. And also on defense, our defensive line dominated. Like you said, we didn't get a sack, but Ed Oliver had an amazing game. Leonard Floyd had a good game. Rousseau, Epinesa, all of these guys contributed. We had batted balls down that ended up in interceptions with Tyrell Bernard. We have the Italian stallion dunk on somebody or snatch a rebound, however you want to call it. He did his thing. He was flying all over the place. Matt Milano, he is an all-pro, man. And Bernard is, listen, I'm watching this tape, bro, and he is right there with Matt. He ain't as strong as Matt, but he's filling gaps. He's closing passing windows. He's instinctual, and he can tackle. That was one good thing about this game, was that we had solid tackling. There was not much yak yards against us. There was solid tackling. The run game was stuffed by that defensive line. And when it did, it never really got to the third level. The first and second level between the defensive line and Terrell Bernard and Matt Milano, they pretty much stopped it all. Like Poyer and Hyde never really had to do anything. There was one play where Poyer blitzed on the edge and got Josh Jacobs from behind. But other than that, there was no breakouts, run plays like we saw in the Jets game, because our defensive line had it all on smash. Had it on smash. So my game ball on defense, believe it or not, goes to Tyrell Bernard. And just off of the fact of what I see on tape, like we know what Matt Milano is. We know what Trey White is. We know Hyde. We know Poyer. We know who they are. But the secret is Mr. Bernard. A lot of people question, you're really going to start a guy that saw no action in the preseason?
I did that.
You're really going to start a guy? And listen, deservedly so. We didn't know. We didn't see him. But obviously that coaching staff saw something in this kid. And Dotson, he wasn't terrible. Tyrell Dotson, he wasn't terrible. He played okay. But he's a liability in coverage. That's what we know. So we got this young bull who's great in coverage, great in space, instinctual, plugs holes, even at that small frame that he has. And I'm telling you right now, when you watch the tape, this kid can ball, man. Look out for Tyrell Bernard, second-year player. And if it goes how I think it's going to go, we're going to have a serious, serious problem. I'm sorry, the league is going to have a serious, serious problem with these boys. I'm telling you that right now.
Oh, yeah, man. We went on. First of all, I wanted to apologize to the listeners as well. Our phone line went out on me, and but we'll make sure it's up and operational for next week. I scheduled it on mistake for 30 minutes, and it was supposed to be for an hour. So that's on me, y'all. So look at me for that one. Also, Robert, he asked a question about the injury for Micah Hyde and Leonard Floyd, the ankle. As we know it now, they are both day to day. Okay. So there's no estimated time on when they will return, especially a hammy. I mean, I've had hammies before, and I tell you, man, they are not fun, and it takes time. It takes sometimes weeks to get
Yeah.
that about your system. So
Yeah, I've never had a hamstring injury, but I've broken my left ankle twice. So I know what that's like. Ankle injuries can be very tricky as well. It's hard to stand on it. It's hard to because when you turn your ankle, you take away the flex. When it swells, it takes away the flex in your ankle. And for his position, he needs to be bendy. He needs to have torque. So hopefully, it's not too serious where he can't play. But if it's what I think it is, he will be compromised to a certain degree. The explosiveness might not necessarily be there because you need that torque in your ankles and in your calves to really get around those corners and bend around these offensive tackles. So we hope that they do show up and show out, but they'll be all right. At the end of the day, this is football. You're gonna always get hurt. It's a
we deep
100%
that's why
injury
we
league.
are deep at DN. Like and
Yeah.
this can give a guy like Kingsley Jonathan an opportunity. This
Yep.
gives a guy like AJ Epinesa, who I've been wanting to see more from, who's been playing very well. He got that tip pass the other day.
Yeah.
So these are guys who got to step up in guys like Leonard Floyd's absence, so this guy can get healthy, keep him healthy for the postseason. We about to go into our next segment, which is how to get a dub. All right, Juan, we back here on Buffalo Against the World podcast, and again, we will be taking your calls this week. It was my mistake, so I'll let you guys know. But that is the number. We will be taking your calls next week for sure, next Monday, to keep you guys locked in. But right now, you guys can text chat. So how to get a dub, man? We got the Commanders that we going to Washington this coming week. I haven't watched much of the Commanders. I know they did get a win this past week. What's your thoughts on how to get a dub today? I mean, get a dub this Sunday.
Well, the Washington Commanders, their offense definitely stepped it up this week. They scored 35 points. And Sam Howell was serviceable. McLaurin was serviceable. But I think that the Buffalo Bills are head and shoulders above.
Harris in the building.
Yeah, I see you, Ma. I see you. Yeah, I think the Buffalo Bills are head and shoulders better than the Commanders. Their defense gave up 33 points to a quarterback who has not scored that many points in 2 years. So I don't foresee the Commanders being able to stop the Bills. Their defensive line is real. Montez Sweat, Chase Young. They have real dogs on that defensive line. But their secondary is lackluster. They're starting a rookie right now, and it shows. It shows their linebackers are serviceable. So I believe that Dawson Knox as well as Kincaid can have a good game against this linebacking core. I see Stephon Diggs having a big day against this team, and I don't really foresee the running game. If that defense shows up that was there this week, I don't foresee that run game being much of anything to be a problem. Terry McLaurin is a great wide receiver, but we have great DBs and Trey White, as well as our safeties in Hyde and Poyer. So I see us really shutting that down. I don't see them really doing much against our defense, and I think our offense will dominate. So I foresee us running the ball as well as we did this week, and Josh Allen having actually an explosion in yards per play in this game. So I see us scoring 31 points to 17. That's what I think will happen next week.
You're looking for similar to what we just did to the Raiders. I see that. All right, so now we're going to go into our picks. All right, we got picks of the week. So, man, we're going to do this real quick. Let's get this out, man. The Giants, man. We got the Giants on Thursday Night Football, September 21st, going against the 49ers. Juan, I'm going with the 49ers, man. They are, to me, the most well-balanced football team in the NFL. Who you got?
Same thing. Niners in a route.
Easy. So we got the Falcons at the Lions at Detroit. Man, I really like Dan Campbell. I really like him. I'm going with Detroit. You know, they didn't make it out of there, out of Seattle, but I think Dan Campbell figures it out.
I got Atlanta.
What?
Going 3-0, baby. A-town. Down. I got Atlanta. Listen, I'm impressed, man. I'm impressed. Ritter he's serviceable. You know, he's great with the scramble. Bijan Robinson, he playing like Barry. Did you see those jump cuts?
Yeah, I did.
This kid is unbelievable, man. Kyle Pitts.
But saying Barry is a stretch, bro.
No, listen.
That's a stretch.
What I'm saying is Bijan Robinson has the elusivity like Barry. He ain't Barry because Barry is all time. But when it comes to this generation's version of a guy who can make you miss in a phone booth, a la LaShawn McCoy, it's this kid here.
That's one I'll give you. I'll give you shade.
It's this kid here right here.
Barry, bro. I can't.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I mean? Okay.
Certain cats, I hear you.
Certain cats that can't be duplicated. You cannot duplicate.
No, and again, I'm not saying he's Barry because he's a rookie, number one. But what I'm saying is if you watch him play, this kid, and listen, he's bigger than LaShawn McCoy, and he's bigger than Barry Sanders, taller than LaShawn McCoy, taller than Barry Sanders. But somehow, some way, you can't get your hands on him, bro. You can't get your hands on in the open field. You can't get your hands on him, bro. And that's what I mean. Barry Sanders was that guy in the open field. Ha ha! And it's a wrap. You on the floor. There was one play against Green Bay where he hit the hole, bro, and there was a defender 5 yards in the backfield. He hit the ground. Went right. DB hit the ground. Another dude. In the middle of the field. Hit the ground. Bro, 3 dudes in like 8 steps.
Now you see, I don't compare nobody. Now, it's him running back wise. I would never compare him and Bo Jackson. Do you remember Bo Jackson? Like we seen so many fans, Raiders fans, yesterday at the tailgate with Bo Jackson
with the bow on. Yeah,
I had to leave. If you got a Charles Woodson, Bo Jackson, Marcus Allen jersey, I'm leaving you alone. I'm gonna leave you alone. You know, I'm not gonna say nothing to you because I remember Tecmo Bowl, man. Bo was a 99.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
No, listen, Rich. If somebody had a Rich Gannon jersey on too, I wouldn't be mad. Rich Gannon had a couple good years in Oakland. He had a couple good years, man.
But he ain't hard.
MVP season, Super Bowl. They got ramrodded in that Super Bowl, but they made it. You know, he did good.
Yeah, man. You know, and you know what I was thinking about? I was watching something special on Bo Jackson, and the man went 419. Somebody 240, 6'3", running a 419 at your head.
Is that unofficial or official?
It's unofficial.
It's unofficial. Okay,
it's listed. You can Google that right now for the fans. Did Bo Jackson run a 419? Man, that's Deion speed, bro. That's Deion speed.
And you know, we played 2 sports too. You know, so that lets you know he was an all-time great. Because only a few cats was able to do that in the NFL and in the NBA was able to really do that. And him and Deion, them boys, they build different, man.
And Cheetah is
Deion. Speaking of Deion, before
faster than Cheetah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But before we go on to the next segment, let me give Deion Sanders some love, man. When you got Kawhi Leonard showing up to your sidelines, he don't even show up to his own games. You understand what I'm saying? He don't even show up to his own games. But you got Kawhi Leonard showing up to Boulder, Colorado. You got Cameron there. You got all of these heavy hitters showing up
The Rock.
The Rock was there. It was a few select. I can't remember everybody that was there, but bro, it was star-studded in Boulder, Colorado.
Yes.
And shout out to him because he got a lot of backlash for that Jackson State situation. You know, and I don't think it was warranted. I don't think the whole HBCU failing scenario should be on the shoulders of one man. You know, he got in the black community, he got a lot of backlash. But at the end of the day, if a person has aspirations, we can't judge him for that, man. Yeah. I honestly and truly believe that Deion, even though he's denying it, wants to be an NFL coach. Yeah. And you have to work your way up to that. You have to prove that you have the capability in doing that. And only 10 scholarships on that team, and now they're 3-0. The other night, Colorado State had them on the ropes in 28-17 in the fourth quarter, and they come out with the W. They were tested. Now they're battle tested. They went from unranked to ranking 22 to now 18. Come on. You keep winning, it ain't nothing but the sky.
We want Bama. We want Bama.
Yeah. Listen, shout out to Deion Sanders, prime time, putting college football on his back. Right now, they got the highest ticket in all of college football, breaking the 500 mark. He's a legend, man. And everything he touched turns to gold.
Yeah, man.
And I got a lot of respect for that.
Must be the money.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Deion, man.
Yo, Prime, man. Shout out to Prime. And Lil Weezy was there performing.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. Yup.
Man, that's and Prime Time doing his thing, man. Man, and you know, and I'm glad you brought that up because his son.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. You break down this tape a lot. And this is why you was my number one pick to be on the show with me. Is his son a first-round draft pick quarterback?
Not yet. But I anticipate that if he keeps on this run, it will be one of the greatest rises in grace that we have ever seen. Shedeur is not on anybody's radar. He wasn't. You got to remember, they come from Jackson State, HBCU. They have a great season. He got a little bit of notoriety. But you come here and you're going toe-to-toe with the Nebraskas of the world. Now, granted, Colorado State was unranked, but that is a school rival. They came to play.
Yeah.
They came to play.
Yeah.
They wasn't laying down for Deion and them boys. They came to play. They gave him a run for his money, and Shedeur stepped up, showed up, and showed out. And what I like about his game is he's not that big. I think he's listed at 6'2", maybe. Yeah. I think he's listed at about 6'2".
I think 6'1". Let me see.
Yeah. So he's not that big, but he has a big arm. And one thing you can't measure is heart.
Right.
It can show up on film to a certain degree, but when you measure heart and you show up in the big moments, that's what NFL teams want to see. In the big moments, do you show up? That's part of the reason why Deshaun Watson at one point was considered a second-round pick. But then you go to the national championship and you beat Alabama on that big stage. And you remember the year before Clemson goes and he was the best player on the field. Exactly. So before those things happen, he's considered, okay, maybe a second-round pick. But when you show up on the biggest stage in the biggest moments and you don't crumble, you show heart, you show fight, that's immeasurable. When you go to the combine, there's no measurement for heart. You have intangibles, how high you can jump, how fast you can run, if you can catch, if you can't catch. But sometimes people have a DNA that when the lights come on, they're the greatest. Yep. They're at their greatest. And that's what I'm seeing in Shedeur Sanders. That's what I'm seeing in him, that when the lights come on, he's showing up. So,
and you know he's being tutored by Tom Brady.
I heard about that. Yep. So
I heard about that. Brady. So, you learn from these great ones. Back to our picks, man. We got 10 minutes coming up here. So let's go to our Chargers and Vikings. I'm going Chargers, man. I like what I'm seeing from Justin Herbert. Who you got?
I got the Chargers too, but if they lose, they're done. If they lose, they're done. They still got Kansas City twice. They still got the Las Vegas, who we ran routed them, but they are a decent team. They're not awful, but if they lose, they're done.
Packers Saints. I'm going Packers, bro. Where you going?
I got the Saints in that one.
What?
I got the Saints. I got the Saints in that one. I got the Saints. I got the Saints in that one. Bro. Derek Carr, he gonna have a big day.
Down Jordan Love. You serious right now?
He gonna have a big day. Derek Carr gonna have a big day.
All right, I'm gonna remember that next week. Texans, Jaguars, I'm going Jags. Where you going?
Jags.
Jags, easy. Denver versus Miami. I'm going Miami. Unfortunately.
Miami.
Yeah, Miami. Right now, their offense is real potent. Tennessee, Browns. I'm going Cleveland, bro. I'm going with Cleveland. I'm going with Cleveland over Tennessee, bro. Where you got?
I got Cleveland too.
Yeah, man. I'm liking what I'm seeing from Cleveland, man. That defense is ridiculous.
Yeah, they play Pittsburgh tonight, so we'll get to see what they really made of, even though Pittsburgh is trash, bro.
Pittsburgh is not with
I went to that Pittsburgh Niners game. Kenny Pickett ain't it.
Nah,
he ain't it, bro.
He ain't cutting it, man. They haven't found an answer since Roethlisberger. We got Buffalo Commanders. We know we both going Bills, my
Yeah. We already know.
Colts, Ravens. I'm going Ravens. I like what I saw from them last night yesterday evening against the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm going Ravens. Where you going?
Got Ravens too. Anthony Richardson is in concussion protocol, so he might not play. Even if he did, I still would have picked the Ravens. So Ravens.
All right, we got the Patriots and Jets. I'm going to Pats, man. I'm going Belichick on this one.
Absolutely, same here. Wilson will not do anything against Bill Belichick's defense.
Yeah, and that helps us out. Helps us out, Bills Mafia.
Absolutely.
We got the Panthers versus the Seahawks. I'm going Geno Smith on this one. I'm going Seahawks and DK Metcalf. Let's go. Who you got?
Yep, I got them too. Seattle.
All right, we got the Bears versus the Chiefs. I'm going Chiefs. Easy money.
Yeah, it's so sad what's going on in Chicago. Is Justin Field this bad?
Man,
is he this bad? There's no way, bro.
I don't feel like he got the weapons he needs, bro. And I don't feel like he has a good offensive. I think his offensive line is terrible.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
they gave him DJ Moore this year, and for some reason, it's not doing nothing, man. I feel so bad for this kid, man, because I think I think he's good. I do.
This ain't college, bro.
This is man. College,
bro.
I don't know. It's like Chicago and Cleveland is where quarterbacks go to die. We used to be like that. We used to be like that, but we got a dog now. But Cleveland and Chicago has never ever in their history had a franchise quarterback ever. Listen to this. Their two best quarterbacks in their history was Jay Cutler and Rex Grossman.
Well, he got McMahon too, right?
Yeah, but McMahon was a part of the 85 Bears. He was a game manager.
Yeah. And you had Walter Payton on that team too, who was the best player on the team.
And a predominantly run-heavy decade.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
McMahon he ain't in the hall. So,
no, he's not. He's got a ring. And I don't know. All right, Cowboys, Cardinals. I'm going Cowboys, man. Them Cowboys been balling, man. They've been dominating all four phases of the game.
But you know what? I got the Cowboys in this game too, but they have faced three. That will be three in a row trash quarterbacks. Daniel Jones is trash. Zach Wilson is trash. And Josh Gibbs.
You think Daniel Jones is trash?
He's trash.
Right. He ain't trash. He's all right. He's all right, but he's not real. How about that?
Daniel Jones had a good season. And let me ask you this. What do you consider a good season for a quarterback?
Well, first of all, your completion percentage got to be over 60, mid 60%.
Which he didn't have. Go ahead.
Okay. Let's see, over 20 touchdowns.
He had 15.
Under 15 takeaway interceptions.
I believe he had 9 or 10 picks, something like that.
So he's good in one of those criteria.
Yeah. So
And you got to win games. So he did make the playoffs last year.
Yeah, they overachieved. Brian Dable came in, he was hype. He's a great coach, and they won a playoff game, but Daniel Jones is not that dude. He is not that dude in any way, shape, or form.
I don't think he deserved. He got the bag, and all of a sudden, look at him now. I mean, they did get a win this past week. So
yeah, and they were down like 20 something points.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So I mean, a valiant effort to come back, but that's not gonna get you anywhere in this league.
Yeah,
you see what it got Minnesota. Minnesota were the comeback kings last year, one and done in the playoffs.
Exactly. All right, man. We got 3 more. We got the Steelers at the Raiders in the black hole. Where you going?
Steelers and who?
The Raiders.
The Raiders?
Yeah. The Raiders.
I got the Raiders. I just do not believe in Pittsburgh.
Man, I'm gonna go with.
I don't believe in Pittsburgh.
Something. I think they do for something. I don't believe in Kenny Pickett at all. Like you, I'm with you on.
I'm sorry, Kenny Two Gloves. He ain't it, man. Yeah, when I was in Pittsburgh, I had all my Buffalo gear on, right? And I was with 2 of my boys that had San Francisco gear on. But for some reason, everybody in Pittsburgh directed their vitriol towards me, right? And the number one question I ask every Pittsburgh fan that has something to say to me, you believe in Kenny Two Gloves? And it was their universal response. Exactly. You don't.
Yeah. I still think they do to get a win, so I'm gonna get them that. Okay, we got Eagles and the Buccaneers, man. Listen, they've been playing well. I'm taking them Eagles, dog. I'm taking them.
I don't believe in Baker.
It's Monday Night Football.
Yeah, I don't believe in Baker. Mike Evans, he caught a seam pass, turned up field. He could have scored, but all of a sudden he turned the Jets off and started slowing down. He getting old, bro. He getting old. He gonna have another 1,000-yard season, but he gonna be old.
Really?
He old, man.
That's when you know you're old. That's for all you fans who were saying trade Gabe Davis for Mike Evans. That's what you get. That what you get.
He couldn't even break it up field for a touchdown, man. He ran out of gas like 40 yards in.
All right, here we go, man. Last game, Monday Night Football, 8:15. We got the LA Rams and the Bengals. Man, the Bengals, they came on into that game. They still didn't get the win. They're 0-2 right now. I think they're due to get a win. Joe Burrow always starts off slow. So I'm going to give this one to the Bengals. Where you going, bro?
The Rams.
The Rams? Really?
The Rams. They gave San Francisco everything they wanted yesterday. They fought. They got one rookie and a second-year player balling right now. Kyrell Williams balling right now. A bunch of no-name cats balling right now. And they putting up a fight. Cooper Kupp is on IR right now, so we don't know exactly when he's gonna come back, but Joe Burrow is hurt. Yeah. They're saying he re-injured his calf and he might not play next week. So if you got a backup coming in against Aaron Donald, no, I got the Rams.
So Burrow not playing? I didn't see that.
No, they're saying he might not. He re-injured his calf, and right now it's not looking good for him to play.
Well, if he don't play, then I'm, where I'm going.
Yeah, that's obvious if he don't play.
I think even if he does, going with Burrow, but if he's not playing, I'm going with the Rams. So.
Yeah, I think even if he does play, he'll be compromised. So that's why I got the Rams.
Yeah.
All right, points, bro.
All right, man. Listen, First show was in the books, man. Built in Buffalo, we here, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to the Built in Buffalo on YouTube. Make sure y'all follow our like page on Facebook. Make sure y'all follow us on Twitter. Man, we here, man. Buffalo against the world, man. We'll be here every Monday at 7 p.m. We'll be taking your calls. Make sure you lock that number into your phone so you can call. Give us your post-game reaction, 563-999-3045. I will be on point with that next week. So yeah, man, we can take your text chats as well.
On live on Facebook. Yeah, we also live on Facebook. You can chat with us on Facebook. So also on the Built in Buffalo YouTube channel, you can tune in live. And again, you can see us, see what we rocking. I got my I like this hat, man. You know what I'm saying? I got the Bruce on.
Bruce.
Got that Bruce on.
Go.
You know what I mean? This is that shirt that these players be wearing before the games. The Dreamathon. It's the Dreamathon, man. I love this shirt. But anywho, for final thoughts for me, man, I think if our Buffalo Bills played the way they played yesterday, sky's the limit. I don't think anybody can beat us if we're on point like that. Defensive line shows up, linebackers flying all over the place. We got the run game going. Josh being methodical, taking care of the ball, no fumbles, no inners. I think even if he does, throw an inner or we get a turnover, I think we can still beat anybody because we're that good. So, the sky's the limit for us. This is definitely a Super Bowl caliber team. And of course, we expect them to get there, man. Yeah. We expect them to get there. This team is dominant. So we do this every week. It should be a good season, man. Even with this higher schedule, I think we can still get it done.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Circle the Wagons. Shout out to the Built in Buffalo platform for giving us this opportunity to be here with y'all every Monday throughout the season and the postseason, hopefully all the way to the Super Bowl. This is Kulu and Juan. We signing off. It's Buffalo against the world. One love.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.